Hi everybody, this is Darrell Lonnie with head men's basketball coach Craig Stanger. We cover a lot of area today: season, seniors, recruiting. Let's start with the season. Get your overall thoughts, Craig, on how the season went for your team, etc. You certainly ran into some roadblocks with injuries, and you had a lot to overcome this year.
We did. It ended up being more of a rebuilding year than we really expected. I thought we could make a legitimate push to be in the top half of the conference and make some noise, and if things bounced right, get ourselves into the national tournament. I thought that was a definite possibility, but things didn't happen. We did have some injuries and some situations that depleted us a little bit, and that made us even younger. We are definitely the youngest team in the conference, at least right now during the last half of the season, with the players that we have on the floor, and so that's both exciting and an opportunity for growth. At times you look out there and we're playing right with everybody else that is senior laden, and I look and, well, I have a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and that's exciting. And then other times we're maybe struggling, and you look out there and we have freshmen and sophomores. So, but the kids have played hard this year, and we achieved some good things. We achieved some of our goals. We did not achieve all of them, and we're laying some groundwork for future years.
Let's talk about your seniors who will be leaving. Gabe Thrash, maybe start with him. And this is unfortunate. You hate when young people go down with injuries, etc., especially in the latter years that they have eligibility, junior and senior year. And so Gabe played some early on for you, and then got hurt. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Gabe has a knee injury that ended his season, and being a senior, he's now finished. Great young man. He's still on track to graduate and going to get things finished up here, and so that's good. But he was not able to have the senior season that we thought he'd be able to do with us.
Rico Miles, you brought him in, D1 transfer, Morgan State and so forth, will wind up as one of the top rebounders in the GNAC.
Well, he came in and did what we brought him in to do, and that was to be what we call a 10 and 10 guy. Bring in 10 points, 10 rebounds, be physical in the paint, be a strong power forward, and he's done that. He's done an excellent job of even though he's a one-year guy, of just being coming in as a senior, he's provided good leadership and been a positive infusion into our program, and to help be a role model for our youth.
This is a tough position to recruit for, isn't it? The big, tough forward who can handle the ball, run the floor, rebound, be physical. There's so many different things that go into this position.
It is, and in our conference, it tends to be one of the more athletic and more diverse positions. And in how we do things, that guy needs to be able to face up and shoot perimeter shots. He needs to be able to be physical inside and run the floor. And oftentimes they're asked to do one of the tougher defensive adjustments as well. So it's a key position, one that is very important within our conference, that you have a good player right there.
Matt Schmidt, your other senior out of Kaiser.
Matt Schmidt has had a really good career here. He's been here a while. He first came to play with his brother, and years ago that didn't quite work out between injuries and redshirting situations, but did have an opportunity to be on the team with him for a while. He's done a nice job, particularly the last half of this season. Even though we haven't seen some wins, he's distributed the ball. He's shown good shot selection, distributed the ball well to some of the younger players, and I thought has done a nice job filling the role we've asked him to do. At times, because of our depletion, we're playing him on the perimeter, and sometimes we're playing him inside, and he's answered whatever we've asked him to do.
Let's talk recruiting. We talked about the seniors. You have people to replace, obviously. Schmidt and Miles stand out because you play them all the time. So talk about your needs, what you want to try to get done now in this off-season coming up.
Well, we have a very, very good core coming back. You have great young men playing hard. We just need to fill in a few gaps with that, and definitely the power forward position will be a main focus. And then just solidifying and creating a little more depth to make those practices competitive, and to give ourselves 10, 11, 12 guys that can all play. That's going to be our key. So a good core, and we want to add to that kind of across the board in a variety of positions, but the main focus will be the power forward.
Can you get people to walk on, Craig? How does that work out in your league?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's important for us, especially with our financial situation. It's critical that the positions, what I would say lower on the roster, although not less important, but those 12 through 15 positions, it's critical that we get a really high quality player and person in there that can help create a competitive practice environment, that can contribute to the team chemistry and really help us move forward and help those other guys become more competitive. So it's very important.
This is kind of a fun time of the year for the high schools. Are all getting into their state tournaments now. The lower level schools go early, and then the bigger level, the higher level schools a little bit later on. How do you map out? Tell us a little bit about how you make plans with you and Coach Gibson as to what games you want to see, what sites you want to visit, a specific young man that you're looking at, etc. Take us through all that.
But it's just that, you map out what you want to do, and we have a really good idea of the players that are out there. Recruiting is a year-round business, and we're always looking at players and turning over stones and looking to find others. And so we have a good idea going into the state tournament who we want to see, and then we plot out and visit different venues. And at times, too, we make sure we just catch some games, because there might be some players that we've missed and are not familiar with. So we'll spend some time at the state tournaments. We'll spend some time at the Junior College Northwest tournament, and we also spend some time down in California at their sophomore showcase and some other opportunities. And that coupled with a lot of video being sent in, a lot of email correspondence, those types of things really have us looking at players from across the western United States.
You'll have lots to do ahead.
A lot to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting procedure there, this recruiting, etc. Tell our people about what are the rules in terms of when can these young people sign? When is signing date, etc. For your people for next year?
A signing date comes around basically the middle of April and runs for about a 3 to 4 week period. Okay. So half April, half of May is when they sign their national letters of intent. We already have a young man who has verbally committed to us that we're excited about. Can't mention his name yet, but
sure.
He'll be signing in that April time frame, and we hope to have 2 or even 3 others already prepared by that point to sign for the national letter of intent. If they do not sign by then,
yes,
we can still get them committed and get them come in. They just do not sign a national letter of intent.
Okay, all right. Let's finish with this. Playoffs coming up for your league next week. The winner is Seattle Pacific. Western will probably qualify. Central will probably qualify. We hope you get 3 teams. It looks like you'll get 3 teams out of the GNAC. Their chances in the playoffs ahead, do you think, Coach?
Their chances, once they're in the national tournament, I think all 3 of those teams have very legitimate chances to win out the region and to advance to our Elite 8. They're all very physical in the right positions. They are very athletic in the right positions, and they're good teams. We held pretty well against Seattle Pacific, and we were able to beat Central Washington. We were not able to beat Western Washington, but those are 3 very, very solid teams. And I think any of them that happen to advance will represent our conference very well.
And of course, we'll be rooting for all of them. All right, thank you, everybody. Head coach of the Western Oregon men's basketball team, Craig Stanger, and I'm Darrell Long.